Yeah, good, Duke. All good. Thanks, Ross.
Joe, maybe just ask you to explain some of the changes in the team.
Yep.
Some are forced and some unforced by the looks.
Yep.
Maybe start with your back line.
Yep. I think people might have seen Jake got a large cut on his forehead, and he's been on slightly limited duties this week, just making sure that we don't split that open, and so we've replaced Jake with Nick. Good experience, and I thought played really well in the last game he played in the Bledisloe, and Joseph stepping out and Samu stepping in is an opportunity for us to get Samu involved in the game. We've only got 3 midfielders with us. Josh Fluke has joined us late this week because we lost Dylan Peach, but it's just really sharing the load amongst those 3 guys, and it was a whirlwind for Joseph last week, or the last 2 weeks. So for him to just be able to take a breath and watch a bit of the game and then enter the game, I think he's a great opportunity to change it up a bit for us if required. Max Jorgensen starts in place of Dylan Peach, who has unfortunately injured his calf muscle, and the forward changes with Allan Alaalatoa taking up the captaincy in place of Harry Wilson. Harry's obviously not available. Taniela's been on slightly lighter duties this week as well. He got that bang on the knee in the second bled, and that's just it's okay, but it's just niggling away because we've lost Harry, and Will has come in. Seru adds a little bit of line-out expertise for us as well.
Just back to Joseph, how much was that a factor as far as, like, you know, he was thrown right in the deep end and he did very well. What was the balance of decision making there? To, you know, like as you've said in the past, you've only got a short amount of games before the Lions. Was there a temptation to just keep him in there and keep that momentum going, that education process?
Yeah, to a degree. I think anyone who plays 4 consecutive tests against the sort of ranked countries that we're up against, I do think that's a big challenge for anyone, and particularly playing the full 80 minutes. There was only kind of half the plan last week, but then when Peachy came off, we couldn't quite manage those minutes, and so we want to try to keep some balance there. And Samu comes in for his 50th cap, so he's a really experienced, combative player, experienced player, and as I said post the game, Lenny Ikitau, he's played a lot of 13 for us. That 12 is a less known position for him, so him moving back out to 13 is pretty easy for him to do.
Just broadly speaking, there's a number of changes there. Obviously, you haven't wanted to make probably that many, just with some injuries and things, but are you concerned that, or are you confident that the momentum and the synergy that you had last week can carry through, what is effectively a different team?
Yeah, I think you summed it up, Pato. I'm concerned, and I'm hopefully confident that the guys coming in I know will be fully committed to doing the job and connecting with the guys who did the job last week, and I think to be able to strengthen the squad, you need everyone to be involved at some stage, and I've no doubt we'll make more changes going into Scotland and then Ireland on the back of a 6-day turnaround. So, for all those changes to happen, it's probably not ideal, as you say. We wouldn't have planned it that way, but I think the boys trained well this week. They trained well Wednesday and today. So, as an indicator of what will hopefully be a positive performance on Sunday, that's a good start.
What challenge are you expecting from Wales? It doesn't feel that long since you last played, and obviously you've played a lot of rugby since then. Wales only played one game.
Yeah, and both those games were tight in both Sydney and Melbourne, and obviously this time last year Wales put 40 points on the Wallabies, so it's not like they have metamorphosised into a really bad team. I think they got very close to a number of teams in the Six Nations. I think 16-14 to England, 27-26 to Scotland. Lost by one score last week to Fiji. And Fiji, see their backline, honestly, Tuasova, Naithalevu, some of the guys in that backline are as good as anywhere you're going to get in the world. And I thought Muntz was outstanding for them as well. So, I'm expecting them to be incredibly hard to beat. They're dogmatic the way they go about their defensive work. They're very tough to break down. Getting a line break doesn't mean you're going to get anything off it. They really work hard for each other, and I think we're going to get some ball in the air inevitably from Alice Bevan and Gareth. I've known Gareth, I think, since he was about 14. So he's a very accomplished player. Obviously, he's had a number of pretty positive days playing in a Welsh jersey.
Do you, Wales have lost 10 on the bounce matches. Do you sense, having been here for the week, that they are a team and a head coach under pressure?
You live in this bubble, really. I'm too busy worrying about our team. I just think that you're all under pressure. It's funny, I feel under more pressure than I was last week, because last week nobody expected us to win, and suddenly when expectation shifts and you're up against a team that are on a losing kind of run, you're expected to win, but it doesn't actually mean anything in terms of the players running out and getting the job done. So I think everyone feels pressure. I watched the game last week, Ireland against the All Blacks, and they've been so outstanding for such a good period of time. They lose one game, and there's pressure immediately on. So I'm sure Warren is feeling some pressure, just like any other international coach.
How have you addressed that this week amongst your troops, that psychological element? The last time they had a good win, the next week was pretty ugly. How much work have you had to do in that space?
Again, I think all you can do is try to make sure that you benchmark your own performance and the measures that you deem to be important and delivering that performance. So for us, it's just been a lot of it is business as usual. I think the Argentinian situation was quite a bit different. We've got a couple of injuries this time, but we don't have illness. We don't have guys who are unwell. So leading into this one, I'd be confident that the players will last the full 80, because even though it was a winning performance backed up by a bad second half, really, because the first half, away to Argentina, who were really impressive again against Italy. It'll be interesting to see how they go tonight, but they're a very good team, and to be leading 20 points to 3 after half an hour in that second test, and I think a lot of things were still not too bad, but
is there an upside almost in that's a fresh memory for a lot of the players?
Yeah, it can be. And even having a couple of new players in always helps as well. There's obviously Joseph, but Will Skelton, we got Samu Kerevi, and so those guys, for them, it's just making sure that they can they can step up and do the job well. Will and Samu not playing last week, but two really, really well-respected players within the playing group. They both are genuine leaders on the pitch and in the preparation to get what we need done on the pitch. That's a bit of a bonus as well.
You've reshuffled there a bit to accommodate Samu, to have a look at him, I suppose. What do you hope to get or see out of Samu, or what are you envisaging from Samu?
Yeah, Samu is a high impact player. He's a handful to defend, and defensively he's slotted in really well. So we just want a really solid game from Samu and the ability to challenge the line really, and at the same time to be really accurate in what he does do. I thought it was one of the things that when we had to, we were quite accurate at times last weekend, and I'm hopeful that Samu can bring that this weekend with the experience he has, even taking the right option at the right time. Experience helps you with that decision making.